sadhu. So, dear Dharma friends, in everyday life, mostly we're trying to find the happiness and satisfaction through our day-to-day activities. For that, mainly, we use our thoughts. But if you look very carefully, using thoughts, if you try to understand something or trying to maintain a situation, and sometimes you lose the reality of the moment or the situation. So mainly we live by ideas. Our life itself full of ideas. Just think. If there is no ideas, what you going to experience as life? The meditation itself help you to come out of these ideas. The thing is this, when you come with the idea, that idea itself, that the knowledge about that idea yourself itself, going to make you very limited to the moment. So we all have self-image regarding ourselves and regarding others. If you look very carefully, that self-image build on ideas that about anybody. So what that you have husband, you have wife, you have children, that is real. It is not an illusion. And you have parents, and you have this other relatives, people. But when it comes to your husband or wife, or your children or your parents, how you know about that person? What you know about that person? So what you already knows, develop the self-image regarding that person. Just think you are alone at home. And then suddenly your husband or wife or children or your parents come, open the door and come. When they come to in front of you, and sometimes the way they open the door, maybe by hearing their footsteps or by hearing their words, you recognize, oh, this is that person. That recognition came out of the self-image. And that self-image came with the ideas or the thoughts or the words that you put into it. So now already you have something in your consciousness. When you have that in your consciousness, when that person come to in front of you, you're not going to see that person. You see the ideas that you already have, you already collected. So with our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, with these six faculties, six senses, enormous, huge, the large collection of memories we carry with us. When you dealing with that memory, so whatever you experience, you're not going to experience it. So in the very first level, what you have to do, and sometimes you will never recognize your husband or your wife in this very life. You will never recognize your children. You will never recognize your parents. You will never recognize the teachings. You will never recognize the monk or the priest or the teacher or anybody. You will never recognize the pure knowledge. Why? Because you have the self-image. You already conditioned by thoughts. That thought itself governs the moment. So when it comes to meditation, at least try to be free from that all the thoughts. And once little by little you are able to become clear deeper inside you, there is a moment come. Your awareness become completely sharp and clear and involving it 100% to its maximum strength. And in that very moment, what you experience in front of your eye or ear or nose or tongue or body or mind, it completely new experience, new moment. In that very new moment, no history. Catch this very slowly, carefully. So you don't listen, just you have to think at the same time with me to get this. So you recognize very fresh moment, and it that very fresh moment completely came out of clear awareness. And when the clear awareness hold that moment, itself it recognize the change of the moment. Why? Because your awareness is very clear. So whatever happened, then it going to note that. And in that change, again, the new moment arise. That also very fresh. It's not going to become depending from the past. So like that, moment by moment, with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, each and every moment when it become completely new, your awareness, your understanding shift to different level, different dimension. Why? In this conventional life, we go with the memory. So the memory, to hold the memory, you need the mind. So when you have the mind, you have the thoughts. When you have the thoughts, this everything arises. The samsara itself means what? Thoughts. So when you have the mind, it always depending from thoughts. And another way it called ideas. So the ideas has a very weak point, because when you have ideas, the ideas always compare. That's where the comparison arises when you have ideas. So the ideas come out of the thoughts. So thoughts come out of the memory. The memory come out of the moment when you not experience as a new moment. And then when it become a pattern again and again and again and again, just we live with the comparison. When the comparison happens, there are three things. It's three arrows happen. Remember this, when the comparison happens. With your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, three kind of pains when you compare. The first arrow is the very itself, the incident. So if you see something itself, that seeing that moment is an incident, that is the first arrow. And the second arrow is the other's opinion regarding that moment or the situation. The third arrow is the moment and others' opinion, you start to compare. That is the third arrow. These all three things bring you hard time, suffering, jealousy, anger, hatred, fear, anxiety, depression, this all. So when you have the comparison nature, when you depending from thoughts, the very first thing, when something happen with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, that incident itself, you cannot take it. That's why the fear. That's why you ask from the others. You cannot hold, you cannot bear that moment. So that itself painful then. Even sit for meditation, or even the regarding what kind, some kinds, how many people have question regarding meditation, how many people have the doubt regarding their spiritual practice. See, it is just not only the bad side, bad thing regarding bad things. The fear, it is a nature. It can come out of the good also, if you don't develop the clarity. So when that comparison nature happens inside you, itself when the incident happen, you are not confident. So then that incident itself make you fearful, shake, unbalanced. So that is the first arrow. It is painful. That's why it lead you to second arrow. What? The opinions. That's why when something happens, suddenly you get opinion. You go to others' opinion. You ask. And remember, no one can give opinion regarding your experience. It cannot do. In conventional life, as ideas, even though we share, but in a deeper level, when you look regarding your own life, no one can give opinions regarding our life. The misery is once you decide to change your life according to others' opinion. That's a big mistake you do. It's like you that trying to get advice from the blind person and regarding how to find the path, because that person cannot recognize that your situation. Basically in conventional life, that's the very nature of samsara. That's why if we go with that very nature, we belong to samsara. So we trying to come out of it. That's why then you have to follow something else. So then the very first thing, don't allow that first arrow to hit you. That means when something happens, take it as a fresh new moment. When you become mindful, you're going to see it. You can do it. That is the reality. That is the reality. So when you look at your husband, wife, children, friends and family members, brothers, sisters, don't look at them with your personal view. No matter what, whatever happened yesterday, it's gone. Things happen according to necessary conditions, things in that time, in that space, and related with that time, mind and matter. In this very moment, it is something else. So in the next moment, it's going to be something else. This, even though you don't feel, this entire universe in 1 second change in the large scale. So like that, yourself, remember, with this eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, don't try to get into the new moment with your past experience. And always remember to free your consciousness, your awareness, your mind from the past, and start to take each and every moment as a new moment. Then you're going to see something. That what you see going to show you all the history. That history is accurate than the history that you collected. So this history we collected according to our personal view regarding anything. Even ourselves, sometimes we don't know who we are. Why? Because we depending from others' opinion. We recognize as who we are mostly because of whatever the other people told about us. See how miserable if you have a life and you live that life thinking you are like this person, but you are not like that person. And you live with your husband or wife or children and you with your parents because of the other's opinion or maybe because of your self opinion. And but really that person is completely different person. So how miserable is, how unfortunate that moment. Because you have a husband or wife or children, parents in front of you, but you don't see that person. So that is the kind of moment we are sleeping. We are in darkness. So that darkness arises within our own personal view. So it is so strong, it can go eon by eon to forward. So this is a moment that you can break it down, stop it. To that you need only the awareness. And when you start to drop that memory, the very best thing come against is your own habitual patterns and then the fear. So be strong yourself. You are taking this path, following the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha. And you have the trust. Not with the personal view. You have the trust regarding the path you take. And it is not a personal view. That confidence you need. But that doesn't mean you have to worship it. You have to hold it to it. You have to be a debtor to that. No, that path is always teach you to make you free. So that's why when you have the confidence regarding the Buddha. Buddha is the one who told you, remember, to observe without any view, any past, any thoughts. And you trust that. And even though fear arises within yourself, you trust the Buddha's word. And already, Buddha and after that, many enlightened masters have done this. Many people went through that and conquered that fear and came out of it. So then yourself also, you can do it. So don't surrender to your fear. And let go, learn to let go. At least when you sit, let go everything that you know. Be completely free from everything and observe. So otherwise, again and again, we just feeding to us. We just hold it to ourselves. And we repeating this life. And we repeat, and around us other people repeat, and everyone in the same journey. And birth by birth, everyone in the same journey. But we cannot see each other. But this is the moment, and start to see. It is completely different world than you experience. So you have strength, you have capability to get that, and it is your opportunity to get into that and give your best every day in every way for that path. One day there was the Buddha was traveling towards a village, and then the 7 children, young boys, and cutting a huge banyan tree. And then Buddha stopped for a moment and asked, dear friends, what are you doing? This look like heavy work. Oh, Venerable Sir, our father passed away. He was a strong believer for the Brahma. And he told us as his last will, when he passed away, to bury his body in the middle of this banyan tree, because he don't want to put his body, even he died, he don't want to put his dead body in another place, because he's not sure that maybe it can become another person, the graveyard to another person. So this Brahman was so proud about him. And even he died, he want to bury his own body in a place that no one buried. So then the Buddha said, the very first wrong thing is, you will never find in this earth, you will never find a place there was not the person buried. Everywhere in this world, somehow in the samsara, somehow in the past, somebody buried. So death is inevitable and it is common to all. Another thing is what the Buddha said, the beautiful thing, your father, your father 499 times buried in the same place. This is his home, it's the home for his dead body. This 500 times, this is the same place that you keep that going to put his dead body. These young boys didn't believe that. And then the Buddha said, you can remove the tree and keep digging and you will find his old bones. And then this voice was now so curious. And then they start to cut the tree as soon as possible and take out the main roots and start to dig the middle of the banyan tree. And as Buddha said, they found out that the very old human bones. And Buddha said, look, this is your father's, the previous life, cremain place. This is the place that his body put. This is graveyard. This is the 500th time. This is the home. How it is possible? So the same thing. Look for a day yourself. You don't think sometimes that how many years you sleep at the same place. And just think for a moment. Tomorrow you don't have the strength, and you just get the help out of somebody. So the other people knows that you sleep in this place, and your body knows you want to sleep in that place. Then itself, even though that yourself you don't have the strength to walk to your bed, sometimes other people help you to go to that place. Just I gave a little example. You have to think about it. You have to investigate, like a scientist go to a laboratory and start to investigate. You have to investigate what does that mean. How many years you keep sitting, you standing, you doing the same thing in the same place? How many years? So now already your mind set up for that. So then think, in the samsara the same. In the samsara, it's like this 10 years, just expand the time scale to 10 eons. The same thing, whatever you have done in this 10 years is kind of like this life we're repeating in the 10 eons. So then each and every moment, try to get as a fresh moment. Be aware. Don't. Sometimes people say, without memory, how we going to depend? Be mindful. When you become mindful, you get all the tools and the best tools to maintain any situation. Be mindful. You don't need memory. You don't need others' ideas. You don't need others' opinion. You need only one tool. Be mindful. When you don't have that mindfulness, even though you have all others' opinions, you have the memory, you have the thoughts, you have all the toolbox, manuals, everything. When you are not mindful, you cannot get the best out of the moment. So in the vipassana, the deeper level, releasing this everything, it takes you to a moment without any memory, without depending from any opinion, and you get into the beginning of yourself. Once you recognize that very nature of that yourself, you recognizing the very nature of this world. And once you recognize that, that recognition will help you to transform this life and get into the liberation. So with that, I bless upon everyone with this good practice. May all of you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you. May no difficulties come to you. May no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. During this time period, may everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbitiyo vajjantu sabbarogo vinasatu mate bhavattantarayo sukhi digayuko bhava. Ittavata cha ammihi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe devanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhutanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe sattanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya idam me punya kammang ආසවක්කයා වහං හෝතු සබ්බ දුක්ඛා පමුංචතු.